This is my relationship reading. I'm Tarot Oracle, and this is my relationship tarot/oracle reading for D88. Now, D88 wrote me a quite lengthy 4 or 5 paragraph description of a relationship that she's miserable in, and the person's a narcissist, and she describes the relationship as bad, very bad. Should I leave or not? Blah, 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 blah. Alright, first off, tarot aside, you know, if you're in a relationship where you type 5 paragraphs about how miserable you are to a total stranger reading tarot on the internet, you may want to look at just bailing out of that. Because, you know, one day you're going to die, and you're going to have wasted a big part of your life with someone that makes you miserable. I don't know about you, but I'd rather live my life happy than be completely miserable because of a choice I made. So that's just tarot aside. So now we'll go on with the reading. I'm just making a little, you know, commentary. So this is kind of funny. Making a choice is the oracle that overlooks the rest of the cards, and it is about making a choice. Because if you're with somebody that's miserable and you want to leave, but I don't know, whatever issues you have about leaving or whatever, so I don't know, it could be financial, it could be emotional. You said you have a connection to them. I don't see a connection to them. I see you're miserable. You typed all this stuff and told me all about it. It sounds like you're miserable. So we'll look at the reading, but we have the making a choice as looking over everything else. So we do have a Page of Cups and a Page of Swords, which indicates to me that these 2 pages, which is like complete emotional insecurity for as far as I'm concerned, and a complete lack of being able to communicate with each other. So you have an emotional disconnection from immaturity, from I don't know how to deal with this, and I don't want to deal with this on his side. And then you have the Page of Swords, which seems like a complete, total loss of any connection. You said you have some sort of a connection with him. It seems like maybe a codependency thing. If you're just, I'm going from your description alone, so I don't know how accurate your description is, but if it's as accurate as you say, it seems like that we have a lack of communication, and like you said, I agree with that. Over here we have a lack of emotional security, and I agree with that. The fact that you guys would stay together and you're so miserable. Obviously he's not miserable, he's not getting a tarot reading. So you said he's a narcissist, he has no idea any of this is going on, probably thinks everything's fine. Number one, if you're asking what I would do as far as advice is concerned, I would confront him and tell him that you're freaking miserable. Say, hey, I'm freaking miserable, here's why. So that seems like a obvious thing to do, I know, but many times we overlook that because we don't want conflict, or I don't know what other issues that you have with that. But I would get in his face and say, look, I'm miserable. This is why I'm miserable. You need to fix this. We need to work this out. If he's not willing to work that out, sounds like that you need to be making a choice. As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't be miserable, but you're miserable and you seem to like it. So you also need to look at that aspect of it as well. What are you getting out of this relationship? So it sounds kind of a weird question, but if you're staying there and you're as miserable as you say, you need to evaluate, what are you getting out of the relationship? Is there something that you're benefiting from on the relationship? What is that? And if you weigh between the good and the bad, what are the benefits? What are you benefiting from this relationship? And what are the downsides of the relationship, and see which one weighs more than the other. The Hermit upside down tells me that you really don't like to be alone. So you just said altogether too that you had a connection with him and all of this stuff. And the Hermit in this deck, I'm going to get yelled at. It's not a Virgo, it's a Leo in this deck. So the Leo upside down tells me that you kind of maybe you have a you know, worried about what other people think as far as a relationship concerns. If you break up, because a lot of times in a breakup you have friends on one side or another side, and if mutual friends of both of you are now forced to choose sides. So they're going to choose the guy or they're going to choose the woman as far as who to side with, because, you know, when you break up, it's somebody's fault. The guy thinks it's the girl's fault, and the girl thinks it's the guy's fault, and so, you know, usually friends will fall to one or the other, not both. So, the way it goes. Secondly, the Ten of Wands seems that you just like the burden of this. You're getting something out of it. Emotionally, you're getting something out of the burden of him being disrespectful to you and all this other stuff. So you may want to look at what is the burden that you're getting off of this. So I would evaluate, am I afraid to be alone? And I would evaluate, what am I getting out of this relationship? And I would evaluate, do I enjoy this burden? So sometimes we like drama. Some people like drama. Maybe you like drama. I don't know. I would look at, do I like drama? Some people like this, as I call it, the spice, to where you have a certain amount of drama, otherwise you get bored. You know, that's kind of the Sagittarius type of way. Sometimes the Sagittarius gets bored pretty quick. Aquarius and Sagittarius both have the same kind of issues, but I would just look at, what am I getting from this relationship? Why am I staying here? Am I afraid to be alone? What happens bad if I make a choice? Am I afraid of what people think about me? And is there a way to mature, either one of us, emotionally and or with communication, to where we can make this work? So that is a lot of stuff, but that is my reading.